We are moving on to Professor Meena Sendil Nandanan. So this is, she's going to give us an insight on coaching through University of Jaffna English Speakers Club. That's an interesting club. We are in lots of clubs ourselves, but this is an English speaking speakers club. She, Meena Sendil Nandanan, is an associate professor in organic chemistry in University of Jaffna. Here we go, Mrs. Sendil Nandanan. The stage is yours. You can unmute yourself. And Meena, you have to switch on the video. Meena, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Oh, okay then. Are you sharing the slides or shall I share it?
I can share it. That's no problem.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Can everyone see the slides?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is about one of the major issues faced by our graduates during the when they go for higher studies or for employment things. The thing is, most of the employers feel that most of our students lack English communication skills. So this is an initiative which we undertook under the AHEAD ELTA LC development project. I'll explain that later in a minute. It is a World Bank funded project. So basically, AHEAD means it's accelerating higher education expansion and development. So under this project, they have two main objectives. One is to enrich the learning, teaching, learning and assessment strategies in our curriculum, in our undergraduate curriculum. And the second major objective is enhancing the English language skills of our students. Which we find is a major disadvantage or thing in our system. So under this project, we proposed to, I think it's, you have to go back, the previous slide. You have to go back, right, no, sorry, the next one, yes. So the main aim of this University English Speakers Club is to develop the communication skills in English of our students. So it is, I'll come to that part later, but you know, the basic idea is to provide a supportive learning environment to our students to improve their communication skills. And we have developed the constitution of the club, and in the last month, the University Council has approved it. So we will be inaugurating the club in the near future. And we are planning to have the major activities such as dialogues, debates, poster, speech and drama competitions. All these competitions and activities based on basically to improve the communication skills and also to promote their self-confidence, leadership and other socio-emotional skills. Can you move on to the next slide? Yes. Why we have been doing this is the reason is that even though as far as the science faculty is concerned, the medium of instruction is English, but it is largely teacher-centered. And also for the in the first and second year, English language courses are offered to the students, to our undergraduates, to help them to get adapted to the system, because most of them are coming from very remote areas, so they have problems with English proficiency and all that. But again, these English language courses are offered by the Department of English Language Teaching in the arts faculty, and these courses are also mostly teacher centered, and they focus on vocabulary and grammar. So therefore, these English courses are not very popular among our students. And so the students do not attend the classes. The attendance is very poor. And then later on in their career, with this poor English language proficiency, one thing is their examination performance is very low, and at the same time, they lost the postgraduate studentship opportunities as well as employment opportunities because of lack of English communication skills. So when we were writing the proposal for this World Bank funded project, we initially did a need assessment, and then we contacted the current undergraduate students, and we got feedback from the recent graduates and also from the employers. And almost all of them expressed that the lack of English language communication skills or English proficiency among our students. The current undergraduates said that the English language classes are not sufficient, and they want something which is very innovative sort of thing. And the recent graduates said that their English language proficiency was a constraint for them to follow the degree program, and also they are finding it difficult to get their jobs because of lack of English language proficiency. And later on, we interviewed a few potential employers, and they also pointed out that our graduates, the major drawback with our graduates is lack of English communication. Even though they have English knowledge, sufficient English knowledge, they don't communicate it properly. Can you move on to the next slide, please? Right. So based on this, we initiated a sort of a preliminary discussions to establish this English Speakers Club. And I must thank Professor Prema, who introduced Dr. Renuka to us. And later on, Dr. Renuka introduced Mr. Jahan. And then we came to know about Mr. Ramanan from the Toastmasters Club. And then Dr. Kannadasan from the Department of English Teaching at the University of Jaffna. So these are our resource persons. And I think last May or June in 2019, we started the preliminary discussions, and we drafted with the discussion with the resource persons, we drafted the constitution, and then we discussed about some of the innovative activities which are related to their subject, right? See, since this is the project for the Department of Chemistry, our final year chemistry special degree students involved in these discussions. And then we drafted a constitution and also discussed about some other activities, and we related these activities to their subject or their course units. And then when they do these activities, they get more knowledge about the subject or the course unit that they have been following. Can you move on to the next one? Yes. So then recently, we conducted, or we had our first activity of the club even before the constitution was approved. So that was the prepared speech competition, which was that, what we had was, it was about their research projects. So based on their research project, they presented a 5 to 7 minutes talk with the slides, and then that presentation was evaluated by the resource persons. So prior to this competition, we had 2 training sessions, and the resource persons were there, and they were giving them feedback on their presentation skills and all that. So that was done in somewhere in January and February. Then after that, we had this corona outbreak. So everything went to a standstill. And then later on in May, we even though students didn't come back to the university, we thought of having this competition, and we had it by a digital mode. So they recorded their presentations, 5 to 7 minutes presentations, and they submitted it through the email, and then through various these social network devices and all that. And then that was given to the resource persons, and they evaluated that. And then the competition was held in 28th of May. So that is our first activity, and we are planning to have another activity, which will be again Zoom based activity. We would like to have, we are planning to have a debate competition. So like that, we are planning to have several activities, and these activities will be, and we are also thinking of having a table topics, sort of like a Toastmasters club. So all these will be carried out, we will be done among the chemistry special degree students as of now. But we are planning to expand this to the entire university. And my intention is we should have sort of a similar clubs at school levels, so that the school students and the university students can interact, and then they can think of enhancing their communication skills and all that. Thank you very much.
That was an excellent presentation. I'm so glad you have named it as an English Speakers Club rather than an English Speaking Association, you know, which youth like me would love to join a club than a school or English speaking.
I would say that was an idea of Dr. Renuka.
Wow. Renuka is young at heart, so you know what?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much again, Meena, for that. And I'm sure, you know, you guys are doing like you're thinking out of the box and doing something there for English speaking. So let's move on.